Let's make a new game.
What am I gonna do?
I will iterate on an old game of mine called Honeybear 1, and I will improve it by taking it to the third dimension. This game is a spin-off of a game that's already in the making, and this game has so many features, and the control is one of the key features which I want to take out of the current game, put it in the new Honeybear fun game, and make an own game just based on the controls and the jump and run elements. So as always, I started with the modeling of the main character, and then something happened which has to happen, so the complete program crashed right after I finished the model. And anyway, so I started all over again. I modeled the complete bear again, and then I rigged it, animated, and then I could move on to more objects and more entities. I started with some bushes, and here you can see me modeling a tree. And finally I used the array modifier for the first time in Blender. It helped me out pretty well to just create a bridge. I never created a bridge that far. And after that I created the main goal, or the main target of the game, and this is to reach the hive. It's pretty straightforward. You are the bear, and the bear needs honey, and the honey is in the hive, so pretty straightforward. Go to the hive and the level is done. One of the few things that really got a texture in my game is a tree stump. You can see it looks like paint, but actually I did the painting in Photoshop, which is no excuse why it's looking so bad. But for this comic style game, it's more than enough. So you can see me creating a big tree, because I want to have some kind of a building block to use many building blocks to create a tree. And I imported all the files to my scene. This is a demo scene. You can't see this level in the final game. It's just for test purposes. So let's start with the first attempt to play the game. Yeah, it works pretty well. The colliders are good. I could reach the target, but as you can see, many things are missing. For example, a target or collision detection on the target. There are enemies missing, special effects, menu, and a complete level, so a ground. So it's just white right now, and my idea is to have some kind of water, and as soon as you fall down on the water, you're dying. Honeybear 1 had 3 kind of enemies: a bee, a trap, and a bird. And I immediately started to model these 3 type of enemies in Blender. I had a vision in my mind how the 3-dimensional representation of these enemies should look like. So, and after a while I got a pretty decent trap, a pretty decent bird, and a bee. And then I thought I got everything together to start a first level. Here you can see me create a very first level of the game. I wanted to keep it as simple as it can be, but also introduce all the game mechanics. So I placed a hive, the bear of course, 1 enemy, and a honeypot. And so the player can figure out how to control the bear, what's the aim of the game, so that he knows, okay, the honeypot makes me yellow, and the hive is the actual target that I have to reach. After that I created a more complex level, like this one. The idea behind it was that you can see the tree, that you see, okay, I can go from the left side to the right side of the tree. I have to anyhow get up there and just traverse the complete tree, get over the bridge, and come to a little bit larger area where many enemies are placed, where traps are placed, and where the stumps can be used as platforms. Here you can see me dropping the enemy paths, so the enemies will be placed a little bit random, they will move a little bit random, and I thought, okay, this is the time to play this game. Okay, I went pretty straightforward up to the platform. I collected the honeypot, and as long as you're spread out these stars, you can attack enemies. And then I go to the finish, or to the hive, and I ended the gameplay there. So if you like the video, please subscribe, leave a like. I will do a second part, and I hope in the second part that I can show you how I finish the game, so that I only have a 2-part series of this making of honey beer fun. So stay tuned.